Uh-oh. Alright, so, dang it. You can see, maybe, if I can get it right, yep, there's that foot. And there is that foot. Alright. Sorry, this is, uh-oh, nope, not that one. Ending up in 2 videos because I screwed up. So, that being said, let's take a look at his puppy ears. To do ears, now there are very few dogs that have truly magnificent hair on their ears. And he's just going to sit there and look at me for a second. That one, sorry, I've got to grab a different blade. Wasn't quite prepared for ears. If you want to cheat on ears and use a clipper on ears, that's fine. 10 blade. Does that work? Yeah, you can see. Alright, so I'm just going to switch out to the 10 blade. As I said before, really, don't go anywhere, buddy. Good boy, buttons. Really important. Now, let's see if I can push this up just a little bit. So, when I groom his ears, and very few dogs have the magnificent hair on their ears that, for those of you who knew her and know her as she's still being posted, Squishy Squish, very few have that kind of magnificent hair. So I am going to shave the whole bell of the ear from where it meets the skull. There we go, buddy. I know. He's like, what are you doing? He's not used to that. That's fine. But he's being really good. I know, I did not hurt you. Now he's a little weirded out by this whole thing. And I'm just going to hold this here. If your dog gets a little freaked out by the clipper, which he is right now because it's, it's vibrating and it's making noise, just go hold it against him for a second so he knows it really doesn't hurt him. There we go. Good boy. Again, just hold it against him a little bit so they get used to it, so they understand what's going on. All right, so there's that. That was a good learning moment. Thanks, buddy. Again, I'm going to take my straight shears here, marry my shears, and I am going to cut. Now, when I cut, and I think I've shown this in another video, I have my scissors at a bit of an angle, my shears at a bit of an angle, so it's less likely that I'm going to actually cut any of his actual ear, because that's painful and we don't want that to happen to our little dogs. So I just cut along the edge right there. See that? Let's see. See all this hair right in here? You can get rid of that stuff too. Get rid of that. Okay. And again, go up here, make a little V from the inside corner of the ear, so then he can get it all, get his ear to stand up nice and straight on his head. He doesn't have any hair tickling him and getting him in his way. So, neat feet, neat ear. Last thing, I know I did this in a previous video, neat face. Here's where your thinning shears comes in really handy. And I, again, just have a little thinning shears. I like this little guy. I have a lot more control with it. Marry my shears. I'm just going to go in here, and I'm going to say snip, 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 and do this little, I do a diamond up in here, sort of a triangle up this way, and it clears this hair out, but it also helps hold some of that hair back out of his eyes. So I'm just going to do this, a little bit here, a little bit there. Oh, got caught on his hair, a little bit there. Good boy. And you don't want anything in his eyes because that irritates the eye. Okay? So there we've got that. And then finally, and a lot of people will just leave it like this, but what's kind of nice is you want to be able to see your dog's eyes. So I just take this little bit right in the inside corner here and just go trim, 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 using my thinning shears, because if I use the thinning shears, no, I'm not going to take off too much. It's just a little bit at a time, and that just helps hold the hair away from his eyes so you can see how pretty his eyes are. Now, there is another way of doing feet. Let's see if this is going to show up well enough. And what I do is I will, I will brush all the hair up towards his body. Come on, I know, it stinks. And I will take my thinning shears and I will just go, and again, 360 degrees. This is what I'm going to show them. 360 degrees all the way around. So it's shorter, but not short. That's why when I trim it with a 7, I don't want it to go that too short, because then you're seeing like all the toes, and you don't want to see that. You want a nice tight looking cat foot, and that's really important. Again, onto the floor, and my other little shears right here. Trim around that foot. Good boy. I know. It's like, ugh, the worst. Trim under the foot. Now, one of the things to remember, we're losing him, he's leaning really hard, is that we want to not have hair dragging on the ground. So you can see that his hair is like way dragging on the ground here. Let's see if I can turn this just a bit. Really dragging on the ground, and we don't want that. We want it to be up a little bit. So I just take all that hair on his leg, I get rid of the body hair, take all the hair on his leg, run my hand down, and right where the pad meets the rest of the body, I take my thinning shears, chop, 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 and I take that and I take my thinning shears, and suddenly, as you can see, he does not have hair hanging on the ground, which he's not supposed to. This piece right here, I'd go in like that, take care of it. So let's get him this way so we can do the same thing on the side that I've already shaved. Still happens when you shave them. Sorry about that. You just pull that hair down. All that hair hanging off. Take your thinning shears. Oops, sorry, bub. There you go. And again, I've got some long hairs sitting here, not supposed to touch the table. And again, it'll be easier for you if you take care of it now, so they're not bringing gook into your house. Gunk, sorry. Like I said, we're supposed to have rain here tonight, tomorrow maybe, and I just don't want all that mud coming in my house. So meanwhile, I have fabulous little feet on this dog. See how pretty his feet look? Very easy to do. Well, I've been doing it for a lot of years, so it with practice it gets easier. Again, you don't want the toes showing, so you don't want to trim between the toes. You don't want to shave really tightly. Never use a 10 on their legs if you're going to shave it. Only use that 7. So those are some hints for you to help you figure out how to groom your Silky Terrier. Look at how pretty that ear is too. He's got pretty ears. And now we can see his pretty face. He's like, ugh, this is disgusting. I know he's not impressed, but I will finish grooming him now. I hope you all enjoyed the videos. Buttons, say goodbye. Say wave bye. Bye, Buttons, bye. He loved that. All right, thanks guys. I know, are you a good boy? Yes, you are.